Welcome, dear humans. I want to be here blessing each of you. Know that through your alignment with these messages, you are in alignment with the energy of the Arcturian group. All is proceeding according to plan, even though appearances look increasingly negative, especially for those who are unaware of the ascension process taking place. You may think you are doing nothing, but each and every one of you chose to be a part of these energetically powerful times in order to provide your energy, experience, and knowledge from hundreds of previous lives to collective consciousness. The energy that emanates from one's consciousness is automatically felt in varying degrees by others because there is only one. Energy always seeks to align with itself, drawing its own level of vibration. This is why there is the saying, birds of a feather flock together, and is also why attraction or repulsion frequently happens between people who do not even know each other. No one can hide their state of consciousness behind a mask for very long, although many try, and a few even succeed for a while. Energy speaks loudly without words or actions, especially to those who live more from within than from without, and have become more aware of energy. Trust your intuition, for it is a powerful tool. Certain places will begin to feel heavy and uncomfortable because your energy is now resonating at a higher frequency, causing you to be out of alignment with some favorite places, people, or activities. Honor these experiences without resistance or fanfare, but with understanding. There will continue to be times when you must participate in something you have outgrown, but rather than resist, use the occasion as an opportunity to practice staying centered without judgment or criticism of those still in alignment with them. Never attempt to hold on to or restore something you have spiritually outgrown through peer pressure, guilt, attachment, or common belief. Once you no longer energetically align with some person, place, thing, idea, or belief, nothing can make it as it was in a previous state of consciousness unless it moves to your level. This is spiritual evolution. It is very important that you learn to let negative thoughts and feelings flow through and out without claiming them to be personally yours simply because you are aware of them. The hundreds of negative thoughts and beliefs that float about in collective consciousness are always impersonal because they are not reality, divine consciousness. The moment you claim them as yours, they become yours and then begin to draw to you similar energy. The only qualities that are personal to you are those of divine consciousness. Begin to claim these qualities rather than every three-dimensional belief about money, health, spirituality, etc. that comes floating into your awareness from the collective. If you find that some similar or same negative thought seems to consistently present itself, it means you are somehow in alignment with that energy, drawing it to you. Use the experience to discover and clear the beliefs that are behind the consistent thought. A good example is a person who always thinks and worries about their health and who automatically comes down with whatever disease is popular at the moment. Mind in its perfect functioning as an avenue of awareness lovingly forms for every person exactly what they hold in consciousness from the substance of their consciousness. It is not uncommon for someone in the medical field who has specialized in a specific disease to find himself or someone close to him developing that very disease. Do I still accept age, deterioration, and disease as reality? Can God age or deteriorate? If disease was a part of divine consciousness, no person or treatment would ever be able to heal, change, or correct it, for it would be held permanently in place by divine law. Start accepting the truth that you are creators, because the energy of Earth is becoming increasingly intense and refined. Everything is manifesting very quickly, and it is much easier to suddenly discover oneself in some sort of unpleasant predicament when one slips back into old energy. Do not fear, but be alert to what you are feeling and believing in each moment. practice truth even though you don't yet fully realize it. The first part of spiritual awakening is knowledge, then the practice, and finally, when you least expect it, the realization where it becomes your attained state of consciousness. The next year is going to be one of turmoil, but great awakening as much of the old begins to crumble. It is important to stay in the now moment, not projecting and worrying about what is now or what is to come. Trust that Earth's ascension is a divine plan, and divine plans cannot be diverted or affected by resistance from human minds that are governed by ego and false information. As increasingly more light flows to Earth and exposes personal and global energies ready to be released, your body or life may seem to suddenly fall apart. Do what you need to do on a practical level, but never forget that there is much more happening than what three-dimensional appearances would testify to. With regard to the physical issues that are popping up for many of you right now, know that most of it consists of old disease or injury energy from past lives that will pass. Love is the highest form of energy because it is divine reality. Love is omnipresent, is what you are made of, and is all there is. This is why you read and hear so much about love in messages from the higher dimensions. Love is the energy that connects and flows between all within one. We have stated this before, but it is very important to say it again because understanding the true nature of love is the key to everything. Love is acknowledging the divine nature of everyone and everything, including self, along with the realization that you have never been other than this. On the three-dimensional level, love is interpreted through states of consciousness that are deeply conditioned by beliefs in duality and separation. Love has been degraded into meaning sex, power, ownership of another, pain, punishment, or even in some cultures and religious groups, the sacrifice of human or animal life. Love has been and is often still promoted as the giving up of one's own identity in order to serve another person or cause deemed more worthy. Never surrender your innate divine power out of guilt, remorse, or pressure from others, for it is who you are. If a need presents itself for you to serve in some way, let it be your choice, one made in full awareness of your divinity and not something forced upon you by the opinions and beliefs of others. A sense of oneness is being felt by increasingly more people, although most do not yet understand what it is they are feeling. It is beginning to manifest as the result of destructive weather events and the many demonstrations happening around the world. Some who have always lived happily isolated in comfortable homes surrounded by their stuff and like-minded friends are being forced either from their own experiences or those of others to begin questioning and examining their beliefs. Compassion, service, and a growing awareness of the problems of others are the beginning steps that eventually lead every individual to a state of consciousness in which no one is left out. A consciousness that understands that no one can be left out of one. You are seeing a great deal of political turmoil right now, which is the clash of old versus new. Those fully enmeshed in the old are unable to conceive of any other way of doing things, while the new is aware of how useless so much of the old has become. Much of what constitutes politics, law, and organized religion is based in structures of power over, and as these things are questioned and begin to collapse, it feels like a death to those who thrive from them. In their ignorance, they are attempting to keep everything as it was, doing all they can through words and actions to maintain the status quo, not realizing that new and better structures will emerge from the ashes of the old. Take heart, dear ones, for all is proceeding according to plan, unfolding as it can. We cannot give predictions because you, the people of Earth, are creating the energy that manifests outwardly. We are observers here to assist. But free will means that the people of Earth themselves must do the work of creating the energies necessary to build a new world consciousness. Mankind is now ready to stop looking to stars, metaphysical practices, ceremonies, gurus, priests, experts, or even governments to change things for the better. Every person must at some point stop believing him or herself to be a weak and powerless human being subject to every three-dimensional belief. Reclaiming your power means understanding, accepting, and living life from the realization that all power is already and always has been fully established within you. All are divine consciousness in expression, and consciousness of this is the only way a better world can eventually manifest. It is time for the people of Earth to put on their big girl boy pants and come out from under the comfortable umbrella of third-dimensional belief. Like it or not, many three-dimensional security blankets are no longer going to work as they once did because the energy that formed them has changed and is no longer supporting them. Trust that there is a divine plan. You are a part of it, and that all is proceeding according to this plan. I know the energies are high. Some of you feel like you are having difficulty absorbing energies, not to mention working and integrating energies. The physical body is at full capacity. That's the case for most souls on the planet. Gaia is also having a higher than normal frequency, and that is partially influencing every soul on the planet. Humanity, under current intense energies, is vibrating at a high level of frequency that has never been seen in recent history. That said, we, the divine, are determined to continue bringing high-frequency ascension rays for the planet and humanity, because they both need these high energies at this juncture. The divine has seen the progress made and decided to let the intense energies continue, in part, because the planet needs support. Humanity also remains anchored as some souls just arrive. Over the next year or two, there will be souls rising periodically. That is why we, the divine, will keep the door of ascension open so that souls, those who are ready, can ascend, until all souls ascend as planned. Souls currently working in the low kingdom and the souls that are currently ascending have all the love and support from the other side of the veil. The divine wants these souls to know that their ascension is a sure thing. It doesn't matter when they arrive. The ascension portal will remain open until all souls rise. The process will take some time. For the souls whose work is in the lower kingdom, we, the divine, want these souls to know that they have all the time they need. Your ascension is divinely designed. Yes, you're still in the third dimension, and yes, your 3D task seems to need a lot more to complete. The divine understands the feeling. The divine knows how it feels, working on density while others have already ascended. Don't worry, dear angels. You are working for the greater good of all. You're protected. Your work in the lower kingdom has a meaning to Gaia and humanity that your human mind cannot comprehend, and that's okay. Your mission is critical right now, and we, the divine, will ensure your ascension is a success. Do what you need to do and finish the job, dear ones. You're almost there. Now there are also some souls who have not ascended even though they are due their time. The divine understands that these souls have spent their ascension time. According to ascension laws, those who have not been able to ascend in time must face the consequences. The consequences are several. It's deeply personal. If the reason not to ascend in time is due to negligence, souls will have to pay a price. However, if souls have been working on their ascension and they are just having a hard time ascending, their journey of ascension will have to end without consequences. They did what they could, and that's all. The ascension process is a process of dear lives. It requires body, mind, and spirit working together. It's biological in a sense that your physical body has something to say. If the body can't work with ascension energies, then the spirit has to let it go. Currently, there are a large percentage of souls on the planet whose journey of ascension has come to an end because the body has surrendered. The body has limits, and working within those limits is the key to physical ascension. The body has so much capacity if a body is well maintained and maintained. However, the majority of the planet's population has not maintained their physical body well. The percentage of the population that maintains the body with some kind of medicine or chemicals is high, and that plays a big factor in the physical ascension process. Chemicals can help if the body is sick, and chemicals can hinder if the body needs to be pure and ascending. Chemicals, in most cases, complicate things and exert undue influence. The body needs to balance chemicals and, if necessary, eradicate them before ascension can take place. By observing this round of the ascension process, the divine has realized that the general population has been heavily involved in taking chemicals and medicines. Whatever the reason, complicates the ascension process. The divine is working to find a way for the planet to provide healing so that, over time, chemicals can be completely removed from human medicines and bodies.